Hey guys, and welcome back to the Marjorie Touch. So I know what you guys are probably thinking, Marj, where you been? Because I haven't posted a video in a while. For the first thing, I'd like to mention my birthday was October 18th, and as some of you guys may have noticed, if you are following my Instagram, is that I had a week-long series where I was doing some osteopathic manipulative medicine techniques. So I was showing how to do those procedures. I was answering questions. I was giving tips. We even had a 2-hour live session where we were talking about any and everything, but we just so happened to get on the conversation of relationships, which tend to happen all the time. So it's been pretty hectic. And then also I was helping to plan my roommates. If you guys may have checked out the roommate tag, I was helping her plan her 23rd birthday party, and I was actually also helping my good friend plan a surprise, well, we were planning for her a surprise birthday and engagement party. So I've been super swamped with that, and then on top of that, your girl had finals. So I was just so busy towards the last couple weeks. So it's really been hard for me to really edit any videos. But don't worry, I'm back and I'm going to make it up to you guys, I promise. So just a couple things that I wanted to mention is that the first thing is that I know you guys don't want to sit down for, let's say, 15 plus minutes just watching someone talk. Some of you guys do, and I appreciate it. But I know some of you guys, that's some of the feedback I get, like, okay, Marj, your videos kind of are a little lengthy. So one thing that I did for your convenience is that if you notice in my description box, I included timestamps. So you're able to fast forward to any specific thing that you want to hear me talk about versus just having to sit through everything when you really want to listen to one specific thing. So that is available for you. And then the next thing that I also want to notice is that please forgive me for my nails. Like I said, it's been a, crazy week. I've been trying to stay on top of that, but
Damn!
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna get that done this week. So my apologies for that. All right, so let's get into the discussion. So first thing I wanted to do was give some shout outs again to my friend Jessica. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday, and also my friend Cecily, happy belated birthday and congratulations on your engagement. The craziest thing is that she thought I forgot her birthday. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get her timestamp to see when she's gonna get to the surprise party. So I'm so happy that everything worked out beautifully. And Emmanuel and Cecily, congratulations. I'm so happy that both of you guys are, I wish you guys both the love and happiness and success. And I have some videos that I wanted to show you guys about how that weekend went. So here we go.
All the young people, look at all y'all. Look at everybody with the phone.
Well, that new phone serious.
That's the middle. Be in the middle, Jessica. Look at all the young people with the phone. Everybody trying to take a video. Look. Nobody living in the moment. They ain't gonna burn our eyebrows off. Don't be nervous. Don't be scared, girl. Just do it. Just do it. Oh! That'll be the last one, so you gotta hurry up. Someone turn the Don't blow at it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay. Hurry up. Just get in the middle. Are you recording now? No, we'll mark it up. Get in the middle. Get in the middle. Get out of the way. To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. Make a wish.
All right, so to be honest, most of the videos were not for me because I was busy running around behind the scenes. I like to say I like being guest more at events versus planning. Like, even I rarely wear glasses. As most of you know, I got LASIK eye surgery, but that day I had my glasses on. Like, I need to make sure everything's in place. Let's make sure everything's in order. So it was really such a super busy week. So that was that. All right, just want to make sure that I'm hitting everything I want to talk about. So let's get into second year. How is second year medical school going? So first thing, you're probably thinking, damn, Marj, you got time? You're making a whole video. Well, I do. Because your girl finished her first trimester of med school. First trimester, second year of med school. As some of you guys may know, at PCOM, classes are divided by trimester, which is cool because after each trimester, we get a week-long break. Unfortunately, because I'm a second year, some of that week has to go towards board studying. But at least I get a couple days to just be to myself, catch up on shows, catch up with friends, and catch up on sleep because your girl is tired. So yeah, so I have a little bit more time, but let's do some reflection back on second year. So first thing I wanted to hit on was the schedule. One of the things that I will say that I noticed by far from first year compared to second year is that they threw so much more on our schedule, y'all. Like, for one thing, we had more classes. So we had 2 additional classes. So we started off with systems. So this trimester we went over GI and RGU. I'm not even, well, GI, we all know what GI is, but I'm not even going to act that I know the exact abbreviation of RGU. I know it's reproductive gyno-urinary. I'm a, present what it means down below. But we went through those. We also had primary care skills. For primary care skills, we're just learning different skills inside the office room with the patient. So we learn like the thorax, cardio, that we actually already learned first year, but we're doing more in terms of like female and male exams that we can do. We had to do a more focused visit. So now our time with the patient got cut down from like 40 minutes to 14 minutes. So that was a big reality check. And even like our time for typing the note went down from like 40 to 9 minutes. So that was major. We have ethics. Ethics is super important, and it's crazy because I feel like a lot of people usually approach ethics like, oh, it's common sense. Like, I feel like that's what some of the feedback I hear most of the time, and I would like to say that is not true. There's actually like a lot of science that goes into ethics, and really understanding and learning more about it helped me to learn more about like why this is so important. And not all doctors are just because they make a mistake or ethical mistake, it doesn't mean that that was their intention. Some doctors make mistakes because they just don't know. So I really appreciate ethics course. I would say that. Osteopathic manipulative medicine. I am an osteopathic physician, student physician. So we are always going to have that in each of our trimesters. So that includes lab and lectures. And then we also had surgery. Surgery was super cool. I really appreciate it. We learned more about like different cases that we may see if we were to be a surgeon. We learned about the different ways of treating them, because being a surgeon and being a physician, they're similar, but your strategy of treatment is going to be different, because usually with surgery it's going to be we were learning more about urgent cases or cases where you'll have to like run into the emergency room and you had a limited amount of time. So we're really learning it from a different angle, and I appreciated that as well. So from all of that, as you can see, we had a super busy first trimester and second year. So now on top of those classes, we had a lot more mandatory events. So we had more patient perspectives. So patient perspective is basically when a patient who is dealing or who has dealt with a specific disease that we're learning about comes in and they talk about their experience. So we learn things from a different perspective. We had different mandatory events where we have to wear a white coat, different active learnings. We even had ceremonies. Ceremonies are lit because they feed us. So we had a lot more on our plate. And I think one of the things that I heard from a lot of my colleagues in class is just that we just have a lot more busy work to do. So it's not even that, let's say that the classes are crazy, it's just that because we have so much to do, it becomes a little bit more of a challenge trying to balance everything. But I would like to say that I noticed that there was a change in me and how I approach and I deal with work too. And one of the things that I always tell my students, my mentees, anybody who will ask me, to be honest, is that medical school doesn't get harder. The journey to medicine doesn't get harder, but you get better. That's the key term. And I feel like I really started seeing that. Like this trimester, I was learning how to study more efficiently, use my time more effectively. And that's how I was able to do all that towards the end of October, still somehow maintain a social life and get pretty good grades. So, all right, let's talk about grades, because if you're like me, I'm usually skeptical. Like, all right, you're saying all this is, I don't want to hear it. What's your grades looking at? Should I even listen to you? It's not, listen, that's not the best way to always address things. Me personally, I think that you can learn from any and everybody. So I'm always lending open ear. Granted, you want to take heed with who you take advice from, but I'm always, I always got an ear to the streets. So my grades are pretty good. So I didn't get all my grades back in terms of my final grades, but I got my grades that would allow me to make the calculations to see what my final grade is. So it looks like I got 1 B and the rest were A's. So I did pretty good. I did pretty good last year too. So it's not too much of a change. But I would like to say that I did learn something about my grades too. First thing I would like to mention is that grades is not everything. Grades is not everything. And you're going to hear this constantly. For me, grades is just a way to assess if I really understand the information. So if I do, let's say, well on one exam, I say, okay, I'm really retaining this information well, or I really understand the information. Versus if I'm not doing as well, that's something I would say like, okay, that's something I need to go over more. And that's probably something that I'm going to have to focus more on for board studying. So when you do start applying for residency, you'll notice that a lot of resident directors are not focusing on GPA. That is a well-known fact. Out of a list of 10, your GPA is maybe number 8. So it's a lot of things above it that you want to make sure is in order. And one of the top things on it is going to be boards. And so why do I worry about exams then if I got to take boards? Is that exams give me a little glimpse of how I'm able to take the information I learn and related to exams. Like, am I doing well? For this trimester, I would say that I use board studying as an adjunct to lecture studying. So I would supplement my lectures with board. But one of the things that I am going to be changing as my gears start switching more towards board studying is that I'm going to be using my lectures as an adjunct to board studying. So my focus and most of my time is going to go towards board studying. So things that change, I'm gonna go back. I think I've been saying a lot, my apologies. Okay, but one of the things that I will say that I noticed is that with GI, I started off studying the same way that I did last year. So I was hitting outlines. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it this way. That worked for me last year. I took the exam. I was stressed in that exam room. Usually I'm not stressed. I usually have a good amount of time to go over the questions, read over it, make sure I feel comfortable with my questions. I said your girl was stressed. I was like, okay, I hope I pass. That's how I left. People are like, man, like I don't think I did as well. My concern was like, I just hope I pass. Okay, I just want to pass. And that's when it hit me. I was like, Marj, you cannot study the same way you did last year for these classes. And when I got my exam back, I was like, okay, I passed. I wasn't happy with the grade I got, but I was like, okay, cool. I just need some improvement to do. So what was that grade? I got a 77. I'm usually used to getting like at least mid 80s, high 80s, or low 90s, around that range. That's usually where I fall under. So then like seeing like even just a high 70 is kind of like, That's not what I like seeing, but I'll use that as a learning tool. So what are some of the things that I change? I don't outline anymore. That had to go in the trash.
Oh, no look behind the head. No, he didn't. Oh, no. I don't remember.
So I don't outline anymore. What I do instead is I print out my notes and I write all my notes on those notes. And then also, aside from taking notes on printed outlines, is that I would have more time for repetition instead of spending, let's say, 2.5 hours just outlining something. I have more time for repetition. Also, I did more questions. I was referring more to some complex questions, which I found on True Learning, and also UWorld questions. So by doing those questions, I was able to see did the information I learned relate well to translate well to my exam scores. And I would like to say that that's what went wrong with my GI exam. When I went for my exam review, and to be honest, I go to all my exam reviews, whether I did good or bad. I really want to understand, why did I get the questions wrong that I did get wrong? Where did my thinking go wrong? And I would say most of my questions that I got wrong were clinical. It was just that I knew what the disease was by itself. I knew the symptoms, I knew what to expect, but when it came time to relating it to the clinical question, your girl drew a blank. I was like, 32-year-old what? Presented with who? How am I supposed to know this? So I knew that was wrong from the jump. So that's one of the main reasons why I changed it up. And I do believe that my new way of studying should work well. We'll have to see how second trimester go. And as more board studying comes, I will be keeping you guys updated with how that's going. Also, I'd like to say is that I switched up how I study. So I'm not in the library as much anymore, but I still need a quiet spot. So I find like a cubicle somewhere. For me, I just started finding that the library was a little crowded. I may even play around with some coffee shops, just finding new places to study that's quiet, but not always feeling like I'm trapped in a cage. Because you can go look crazy sometimes waiting to school all the time. Trust me, I would know. I also actually cut down on my studying time. So that's not saying that I'm learning less. I'm just studying a little bit better. And me saying that is that if you understand that last year I was literally in the library all the time. Like the security guard would be surprised when I left like around 12. Like, oh, it's early night for you? And I mean 12 midnight. So I was like, okay, nah, that's not the life I want to live. I want to have a good balance of, school, life, and mental well-being. That's super important too. So I cut down on the amount of time, but I did started using more tools so I'm studying more efficiently. So that was another big thing that had changed. So I hit the classes, the schedule, grades, and studying. So some updates, what's going on, because I know some of you guys saw my Instagram video when I said that I had some collabs coming your way. So those are still in the works. Of course, when I get more information, I will let you know. And I usually post when I'm posting a new video on my Instagram. So definitely be sure to follow me, because that's where you're going to be getting a lot of the first day updates about what's going on. So just some to give you guys little hints of what's going on is that some of you know I'm Haitian. So I'm first generation, and we gonna go a little bit more into how that is, okay, being Haitian. Another thing I wanted to do is that I am doing a new series called Medical Mondays with Marj, which is gonna be pretty cool. It's going to be just a whole series of me talking. I'm gonna be in a lab, in the classroom, not an anatomy lab, of course, but I'm just gonna be showing you guys different ways of studying. I'm going to be talking about different topics, different high yield topics, how I study, just cool stuff. But then I also wanted to just make sure that I started just keeping those a little bit segmented, because I know not all my viewers are in medical school. Not everyone's interested in medicine, which is 100% fine. So I just want to be able to touch a lot of different topics like I am. I'm super diverse. My whole life does not revolve around medicine. I do a lot, but I do love medicine. And that's the reason I am in the field I am now. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. So I'm excited for those two. And of course, I will keep you guys updated with the rest. All right, let's make sure that I got over everything I was supposed to. And yeah, that's about it for this video. So I want to thank you guys so much. First, I would like to say, thank you from the bottom of my heart, from everyone who supported me, whether it's giving me feedback, positive or even like constructive. So it's helping me learn where I need improvement on. For people who's been posting me on your stories, I really do appreciate it. I always take my time out to respond. I feel like I respond to everybody. If I didn't, wasn't by force, please let me know. But I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you guys supporting me, and you guys are really motivating me to keep going. So until next time, love, peace, and happiness. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye, y'all.